Hello everyone, introduce. My name is Rasya Intishar from Senior High School 1 Jember, and in this video I will present to you about my innovation with the title Play and Learn, Educational Games as Innovative Learning Media for Early Childhood. Let's begin. Introduction. Early childhood is an infant to children aged 0 until 6 years. Early childhood, with an age range of 3 until 6 years, is in the golden period, which is the period in which their brain development occurs. At this age, they will be in the phase where there is the most rapid growth and development both physically and mentally. In addition, in this era of globalization, many parents have given devices to their children who are still at an early age in the form of smartphones, laptops, tablets, computers, and others. Children will also be interested in something called games. Games are a form of learning media that can be applied to children. Games that are used as learning media are usually referred to as educational games. Based on this explanation, the author then made an innovation in the form of educational game as a medium of learning for early childhood. This is because the use of educational game is considered quite effective for children because it is fun and can be adapted to each learning target. In addition, the reason why the author targets early childhood in this innovation is because early childhood requires a good basic understanding in order to become a proud next generation. Method. The author used a quasi-experimental research method, namely the non-equivalent control group design. The author used a quasi-experimental method of non-equivalent control group design for the reason that the research will be divided into two groups, namely the experimental group and the control group. The stages that will be used by the author are as follows. First, the formation of the implementation of learning, namely the formation of an experimental group and a control group. Second, use of educational game. The type of game that will be used is a simple game starting from puzzle, calculation, and classification. Third, giving question. The question given will be related to what has been taught to the subject through written and picture media, as well as through educational games with a total of 10 questions. And last, fourth, data collection and analysis of results. In this section, the author then records and analyzes the scores obtained by each child according to their group, namely the scores of children from the experimental group and the score of children from the control group. Result and discussion. Experimental group assessment results. The result shows that the score or total correct answer obtained by the experimental group were as follows. In the table, it can be seen that for subjects aged 5 years, the total correct answer obtained were 7 questions, while for subjects aged 6 years, the total correct answers obtained were 9 questions. So the total number of correct answers on the average of both is question. Control group assessment results. The result shows that the score or total correct answer obtained by the control group were as follows. In the table, it can be seen that for subjects aged 5 years, the total correct answers obtained were 5 questions, while for subjects aged 6 years, the total correct answers obtained were 7 questions. So the total number of correct answers on the average of both is 6 questions. Comparison of the assessments of the experimental group with the control group. Based on the assessment data that has been obtained by the experimental group and the control group, the following comparison is obtained. In the table, it can be seen that in the experimental group, the average number of questions answered correctly was 2 more questions than in the control group. The effectiveness of using educational games in early childhood. Educational game created by the author is a game intended for early childhood. This educational game contains basic understanding, concepts needed by early childhood in brain development. The game presented provides a storyline accompanied by challenges that must be faced by players. These challenges are in the form of basic comprehension, questions involving numbers, letters, colors, and more. In challenges involving numbers, players will work on challenge in the form of calculation, and questions involving letters, players will work on challenge in the form of puzzles, and in challenge involving colors, players will work on challenge such as grouping and matching colors. Closing. Based on the results and discussion that have been presented, the conclusion that can be drawn include the following. First, the educational game created can provide a good understanding of the experimental group with the total correct answer on subject aged 5 years as many as 7 questions and on subject aged 6 years as many as 9 questions. Second, the educational game created can be proven to get better assessment results compared to written and picture media with an average difference of 2 correct answers in the experimental group. The last one, third, educational games created to improve basic understanding in early childhood have proven to be more effective than using written and picture media. Well, that's all I can present to you in this video. If I made a lot of mistakes, I apologize. Thank you for your attention. See ya!